Good morning, all. So, it's now 16th of July, and basically, I just wanted to have a bit of a chat this morning around a little bit of a bet that I had with one of my junior traders, called Badder. There you go, called him out right there and then. And the bet was that when I started trading, that I turned 2,000 into 170,000 rather quick, and I got the feeling and the approach that he was getting across that maybe I've lost my touch now. That I've gone to a lot of algorithmic trading, and I've steered away really from trading the FX market, and so much of stocks on a more of aggressive basis now that my capital's reached a large size, and that I'm managing funds. So what I'm going to do is I took that bet on that, I couldn't make a large amount of growth on a small account, so I opened up a £2,000 account with HL Markets, which are, they're in connection with IG. And I was looking, after this whole thing around the Greek exit potentials and things like that around the FTSE, I thought, when you're trying to turn a small amount of capital and make, a large percentage growth, 50% plus growth, you're kind of looking at, you have to be very careful in how you allocate your risk and to what kind of positions you allocate your risk. Well, due to my time available, I've got quite a few different meetings with different investors and things. I chose to fall on what I call my strengths, which is the stock market. And so I'm going to break down the actual stocks that I chose on this challenge and what I thought would actually move the markets. So obviously going to an index where, it involves the top 100 companies, and if the top 100 companies are moving, then in my eyes it's kind of a safe place to put my money, as long as I can see an overextension in the markets, and which you can clearly see here. Off the FTSE highs here, you can see that we had a strong retracement in the market of just under 10% there, 9.5% in the markets, coming down to near the lows of January, which is just down here. And what I've noticed, kind of thing, from my analysis on the markets is that we all look at the open on the year. So if you look at the open of 2015, you're looking at around here, pretty much there. So the open on the year we pretty much got to the point where we were down on the year. And for our economy at the moment, we're quite growing. So I thought, well, if we're a growing economy, the FTSE needs to replicate that at the end of the year to show some form of growth, and therefore this position here on the FTSE would be quite straightforward for me to take a buy side, even though there's a little bit of surrounding concern around the Greek exit. I had quite a positive attitude towards that. And once I saw this bounce, what I was looking for is a confirmed bounce here. So you kind of had the pullback here. I wanted to see some buying momentum come into play, which I did do off around 6,450 level. And so I wanted to put a penning order in if it was to break to the upside at 6,550. When you look at that, that's nearly a 100-point rally on the market. So I put my entry at 6,550, stop loss below the previous swing, and you can kind of see the move that we've had so far on that. So that was my position one, and my kind of ideas around that. And to be honest, the position's still in play. I am keeping an eye on the Greek news in around to what's going on. But as long as I don't see too much potential of the agreements going badly, I'll look to hold this position back up to at least 6,900, if not 7,000, which is what I'm looking for. My second position was National Grid. Now, for those guys that know me, will know that I absolutely love National Grid. I mean, if we look at National Grid as a long-term stock, just let's look at the performance. The stocks just keeps on going. Here's the biggest hiccup that they had in 2008. After the whole recession in '08, and then you can see that we just hit a strong rally. And you can see that the pullbacks, after a pullback, we're pretty good to go for a rally here. And that's something that I was keeping my eye on too. At the end of the day, National Grid, it's a defensive stock. We all still need to have electricity. They're good on dividend payouts. And they don't really have any competitors in the market that's going to really affect National Grid. And so for me, it's a good stock to hold. And again, I like to get aggressive on defensive stocks just because I know that once they've had a solid kind of pullback, when the markets rally, when the FTSE index rallies, you can really see National Grid take a rally forward too, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So that was the decision on National Grid. Strong performing stock, and that's kind of what you want to focus on when there's concern, is these strong performing stocks, defensive stocks, and stocks that you're used to trading. Now, one of my other positions was seeing, which is a small cap stock here. It's a very small cap stock that I keep an eye on, and I'm on to the buy side on that too. You can see here that it's not performed too great since its IPO since 2006, but it's an underperforming stock. It's a good stock, and the technology behind it is something that I looked for and I focus on that. I'm not really going to cover that too much on this, but it's a stock that I was looking to hold. You can see it is in a slight downtrend at the moment. It is one of those positions that is slightly negative for me. Again, it's still one of those ones that's got potential to do a nice breakout like it has done before and get a strong rally, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, is that kind of 8 level to break through. And you can kind of see now, if we're looking at this on if you bring into account shapes and so on and so forth, you're looking at it's just rejected that level there. So what if you see a nice strong breakthrough? We're going to get the confirmation of the break to the upside. You can see the strong support level held in June here on the previous lows, and it rallied off of that, causing us to, for me to be interested in this position. So if we go over to the actual account here, I'll explain UK oil and gas for those that don't know at the moment. But you can see the account size up at the moment. It's 2,037. There's a little bit of intraday play there, just trying to get the account start tickling up. But you can see that FTSE was one of the biggest movers for us on the portfolio here, giving us nearly a full 50% growth on the account here. And you can see seeing machines is slightly down at the moment, and UK oil and gas is also down. This was the discovery of, if we add it down to the bottom here, it's UCOG. UK oil and gas was the stock that, they found oil, and you can see a position here. On the aggressive side, I managed to get out. We actually got into this position rather late on UK oil and gas on the news release here. And we took profit on the aggressive one, but obviously, I thought that we'll go back into this position on this account because there's more news to be coming out around that finding of oil and gas, and usually around that you'll see a strong spike in the news, based on the news that's come out. Whether it's a realistic point of view on the news or not is a different story, but you still get strong spikes, 2.28 all the way up to 4 there. My stop loss is just below 1, which was where the kind of initial breakout was of the stock, which I wouldn't really expect it to go down below that level after that finding. So you can see this is my what I'm looking for in this market, and you can kind of see there's the support level that it bounced off of. Previous resistance turned support there on that 1.7 level on UK oil and gas, and you can see it bounced off of that level, so we'll see how it reacts if it comes back to that level again. But potentially, we're looking at a strong rally again on UK oil and gas. As soon as some news comes out around it, you'll find that a lot of buy momentum comes back into play and pushes up. So overall, a little bit of a roundup there, but you can see here on the account, this is how you can make 50% in a month using the power of indexes, defensive stocks, small cap stocks, and a little bit of knowledge around those stocks as well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's how you can make 50% on a small account with a little bit of common sense and a little bit of understanding around the markets. So Badder, I found out this morning that he's up something like 20% within 3 weeks. Let's see how you do, guys. Take care. Have a good day.